putting your guides to work. A lot of times I'm often asked about how people can work more closely with their guides. And there seems to be a general idea that if I could just hear everything my guides are saying, then I would just do that and my life would be perfect. But instead, the real issue is, and I think a lot of times it's like, whose life is this? You know, if it was really that was the way you're supposed to live your life, why are you living it at all? Why isn't your spirit guide living it here for you? And so I really think there's this whole idea. And so I came up with this idea of using the model of a corporation where you are the CEO as a model for how to work with your spirit guides. And so you are the CEO of your own corporation. Your guides are your staff. They work for you. You should listen to your guides. You should listen to your senior staff. That's why you hired them. And they're either doing a good job or a poor job. And it depends a lot on your point of view and how well your company's doing. But there's also certain roles that management has to have and you as the CEO have to have towards your staff. So basically the way the model of the corporation works is you have your board of trustees. Your board of trustees are the people who are allowed to tell you what to do. You know, Jesus sits on the board of many corporations as part of their board of trustees. Or God, however they perceive it, will sit upon their board of trustees. People's higher selves, their senior guide may have a seat on the board of trustees. They're the people, that's what oversees your life and does some of the larger things. You are the CEO, it's your company. The buck stops here. So whenever your guides are busy doing anything and they create marvelous things and your staff has been working hard, you know, the outer world still wants you to be the one to take the credit and say, yes, we did that. We are, you know, I am happy that I was of service, even though it's really your whole company that's doing the work. Just like if somebody interviews the president of the company, you expect the president of the company to almost be the public face of the company. It's the same thing. So you are all the public face of your company. Everybody else is invisible, behind the scenes, which makes perfect sense because they're your guides. You are the head of your corporation. Would you like to would you like to call a staff meeting? I'm going to show you how to call a staff meeting of all your guides. It's fairly simple. You do a distance symbol. Once again, you can either draw the distance symbol or just intend it, depending what you're comfortable with. And say, I'm calling a staff meeting. I'm calling a staff meeting. I'm calling a staff meeting. Now, all you need to do is imagine a large oval desk, like one of those corporate conference desks. And I usually imagine it about like this big. So imagine the desk. And put the desk in the distance symbol. And intend that all your guides are seated around your desk. So the first thing I want you to do is count and scan how many chairs there are. You sit at the head and then scan around the table. And count how many chairs, and I'm going to ask you in a second. And then you can do a recount if you want. How many people have 5 chairs or less? How many chairs did you have?
I have 2.
Okay, that's 5 chairs or less, isn't it? So that's 2. So you had 2 people were there?
I thought you meant that was another question.
You had how many?
12.
12, okay. 6? 9? I had either 10 or 11. I wasn't quite sure. So you see, there's a range. We have a few people tend to have fewer chairs. Some people have more chairs. And it's not like more is better. It's just a matter of how many divisions there are in your department and how they divided your abilities. And oftentimes, if you either, the people who tend to have less are people who have consolidated everything in their life under a few basic headings, or people who are just getting started. They'll tend to have fewer guides. People who have lots of guides usually have lots of different things going on. And so that's the way it tends to do out. Now, as you're scanning around, go through and scan the table again. And this time, I want you to look for staff openings. Are there any places that it either feels like there should be a chair and there isn't a chair? Or are there any chairs that feel weak as you go around? There's just not much energy in that chair. Mine are all fine, so I'm going to ask my guides to shift this a little bit for demonstration purposes, so I'm going to probably get somebody else's thing here. Yeah, there's a big hole right here. There's 3 missing chairs.
Plus there's a couple others.
Okay, So you don't have your full complement of guides, maybe the thing. So you counted the number of guides that were there. So all the guides you have areas of your life that just are not existing right now?
Yes.
And so that would make sense. If you're missing guides, if you're missing 3 chairs in a row from a whole sector and then a couple other random chairs, then it would make sense that there's probably an implement in your life that there's certain areas of your life where just nothing is happening, and any efforts you, the CEO, make don't seem to amount to a hill of beans.
Huge area.
Yeah, I feel one missing.
You feel one missing.
Over here, it feels
Okay.
different than the rest.
So you're basically scanning. Now this is how you figure out where your job openings are for senior staff, because you're the only one who can fill those job openings. There may be job enterings. You may have a much larger staff than this. This is just the ones that are senior enough to sit at this table. But if there's job openings up there, you're in trouble. So what you do is you go through and find that sector. Is there a floor? Okay, good. So are there chairs?
There are 5 empty chairs.
Okay, because sometimes it is so bad with people that not only are there missing people, there are no chairs, and sometimes there's not even a floor. And the first thing you do have to do is call in the workmen to heal the floor, and then add the chairs, and just redo this whole thing here. So you've got so basically, you're ahead of the game that way. So all you need to do is place divine classified ads, and ask for the perfect energy to fill each of those positions, and just do it one at a time. And so just place a divine classified ad and just ask the universe to send the perfect job candidate for filling this particular position. Notice you don't know what it is. This particular perfect candidate to fill this particular position that will also be able to work well with all your other guides. And then you just take that energy and you slowly add it in. And it may feel a little weird to you when you're getting close to the table. It's because you're crossing dimensions. And so then just go ahead and fill it.